Ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, you've just entered my dungeon. I am the gatekeeper, the dungeon dweller, and this is your NXT report. But first, before we get going, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Always hit that like button. And if you want to continue getting notifications when I upload, when I live stream, make sure you hit that little bell. Dingle dingle, people. It'll tell you whenever I upload. Now, tonight, like I said, NXT. It is May 31st, 2017. And as always, NXT delivered, unlike Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. And what does that say? That a 1 hour show from a brand that is considered a feeder brand for the WWE outclasses everything that Monday Night Raw does and everything that SmackDown Live does. Come on. NXT's where it's at, people. And this is the #1 podcast for your NXT report. Now, I don't just say that. I know it. And if I didn't know it, why the fuck am I doing this? It ain't for the money, because as wrestling content providers, YouTube doesn't deem us suitable. Hell, my numbers dropped from 700 views, almost 1,000 views for NXT, to 15 and 20. So what does that tell you? They make sure that our notifications aren't reaching all of our subscribers. And that blows. But tonight we had a pretty damn good show. We had Tommaso Ciampa start off the show, coming down to the ring and explaining his actions. Now, before I delve into the whole promo he cut, I'm going to tell you, it started off a little bit too soft for my liking. He didn't convey his anger enough for me at the beginning. He actually livened up near the middle of his promo. I like that. But his intensity was there. The guy always looks intense. That's always good to see. It's just, his promo lacked a little bit. Just a little bit. But we're going to go into that right now. Now, excuse me. But before we can do that, we got to go and talk about the sponsor to Pillar to Post. And today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Pillar2Post. Now, over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. So make sure you take advantage of this offer because, number one, it helps the channel. Number two, it helps Audible. Number three, you get something in return for helping us out. That is what it's all about. It's about building a community here at Pillar to Post. Now, it can be the laundry room or the dungeon. It doesn't matter. You're all welcome. And if you come into my dungeon, be afraid. Be very afraid. Now, you can find me on almost all avenues of the social media world. So you can find me, my store on Teespring in the description below. You can find my Facebook merchandise page and my Facebook author page, as well as send me a friend request. I accept all. Now those links are in the description below. I also am doing things on VidMe. Now at the moment, I'm just uploading these same videos to VidMe, but there is new things coming to the VidMe world. So pay attention to that. If you want to become a Patreon, let me tell you this. Tonight, I upload my first podcast to Patreon, which I haven't done for quite some time because I wanted to build up my subscribers and build up my viewers. And so this week, starting tonight, the first upload gets put on Patreon 12 hours earlier before YouTube gets it. Now, what does that do for you? Well, you get my content 12 hours earlier. You can be a Patreon and pledge for as low as $1 a month. And this guarantees you get all the videos 12 hours earlier. Plus, once a month, we are going to be doing a draw for all the Patreon pledges and have a draw for a Pillar to Post t-shirt, as well as if you pledge higher, there is different rewards for you. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Pillar to Post 77, and if you want to send me some messages via my email telling me stories about your experiences in the wrestling world, please send them to steeldragon1234@hotmail.com, and all that crap is going to be in the description below. So let's move on. Tommaso Ciampa, like I said, started the show off with an explanation as to why he turned his back on Johnny Gargano. So Ciampa makes his way down to the ring on crutches. The NXT universe seems to be split down the middle. Some chant Psycho Killer, others chant Ciampa sucks. Now, when Ciampa finally gets on the mic, he says he would like to take a moment to call Johnny Gargano out to the ring. Ciampa feels like he should give Gargano an explanation for his actions. Now, Ciampa calls for Gargano to join him in the ring, and Gargano doesn't come out. Obviously, there is a reason. Now, Ciampa asks if the crowd wants to replace Gargano. Ciampa wants to let us all know what it's like to be replaced. Before a takeover Chicago, Ciampa sustained an injury. Speculation ran rampant that Ciampa would not be able to compete in the latter match against AOP. Now, as the days went on, the NXT universe started to think of dream partners for Gargano. They treated Ciampa as an afterthought. Now, Ciampa stated, and he screamed, that he is not an afterthought. During the latter match, he fought with everything he had. During the match, Ciampa felt a pop. Ciampa realized that it was serious and he was going to have to go away for a long, long time. Now, Ciampa put that aside and fought for his partner and the entire NXT universe. In the end, however, Ciampa looked at his partner, and he realized the NXT universe and Gargano are just alike. Ciampa knew that the minute he went down, Gargano was going to replace him with someone new. Like the NXT universe tried to do before NXT TakeOver Chicago. Now, in that moment, Ciampa made a decision. It's not Ciampa's fault, it's the NXT universe's fault. It's Gargano's fault. If Ciampa was going to go away for a long time, then Mr. Johnny Wrestling is going to go away for a very long, long time. Now, TakeOver Chicago was supposed to be DIY's moment. As it turned out, it was not DIY's moment. It was Tommaso Ciampa's moment. Ciampa is not replaceable. Gargano isn't replaceable. The NXT universe, however, is replaceable. Ciampa isn't going to tell us some sob story. What he's going to do is tell us that he is going to go away and come back the most dangerous son of a bitch in the NXT. I did like from the middle of that promo all the way down to the end. I loved the intensity, the attitude he carried with him to that point. The beginning, a little bit too soft-spoken for my liking, especially for a guy that just beat the shit out of his best friend and went heel. So, I'm not going to shit all over it because half of that really picked up and it was in your face. He basically let everyone know his feelings, why he did what he did, and that you can expect a whole new son of a bitch when he gets back to NXT TakeOver. Or NXT, I should say. I like to add TakeOver to that. I don't know why. NXT just seems kind of short, you know? So after that, we get a video package filmed earlier in the day with Bobby Roode telling us that he is going to have a glorious championship celebration that we are not invited to. Now, Roode assures us that even though we aren't invited, he will return next week on NXT television. But after that, we get the United Kingdom champion, Pete Dunne, versus Danny Burch. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion of this match before I get into it. This was a strikers match. There's a lot of fists thrown. There was some kicks thrown. Not a lot of technical wrestling, but more like a brawl and a showcase of striking talent. And both these men have striking talent. Pete Dunne, the UK champion, definitely a good striker. Danny Burch showed us today what kind of striker he was, and I loved it. I seen him in another match a couple of weeks back, and he didn't fare as well as he did tonight. Tonight, it looked like that he had the UK champion on the ropes and worried for just a moment. Now, moving into this match, Dunne and Burch lock up. Dunne locks in an armbar and takes Burch over. Dunne works the wrist and hand of Burch. Now, Burch stands up and reverses the hold into a rear chin lock. Burch slaps Dunne's hand. Dunne slaps Burch in the face. Burch slaps Dunne in the face, and Dunne hits the ropes and attempts a leapfrog, but Burch picks Dunne's leg out of the air and almost locks in a crossface. Now Dunne gets to the ropes, and Dunne cocks back and levels Burch with a stiff right hand. Like I said, there was a lot of strikes being thrown in this match. Now, after a short break, Dunne runs into a boot in the corner by Burch, and Burch hops up to the top rope and hits a missile dropkick. Burch follows that up and hits the ropes, but eats an elbow from Dunne. Burch surprises Dunne with an enziguri and stiff right hand by Burch, and Dunne kicks out of a pinning predicament. Now, Burch goes for a waistlock, but Dunne counters it into a backdrop driver. The X-Plex by Dunne is followed for a near fall, and Dunne hits the ropes and runs right into a lariat by Burch. Now Dunne rolls up to the apron, and Dunne attempts a springboard, but Burch catches him with a right hand. Burch starts to fall over the top rope, Dunne begins to fall over the top rope, but Burch grabs him, straightens him up, and hits a hangman's DDT off the top rope. Gets a near fall, but Dunne manages to kick out, and Dunne hits the bitter end for the win. Your winner, the UK champion, Pete Dunne. I do love what these UK guys are doing in the ring. I can't wait to start seeing the UK matches that they're going to be having on a weekly basis on the WWE Network. Like I said, a lot of striking this match. Now, after the match, Dunne says since January he had to watch a boy carry a championship that belongs to him. At TakeOver, it was Dunne's pleasure to take it from Tyler Bate. I can expect to see these two in a rematch for that UK title, because that was the match of the night at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Bar none, these guys showed NXT and other WWE performers what the hell they can expect from the UK boys. Backstage, we get the Velveteen Dream telling the interviewer that the ambiance isn't right. He can't be interviewed under these circumstances. If they fix the ambiance and the interviewer's hair, then maybe, just maybe. And then he just simply walks out. Like I said, he looks like an Orlando Jordan wannabe. That's what I'm getting from him so far. So I've got nothing to say about that. It was a shit little promo he cut, and it could have been done better. Andrade Cien Almas versus Cesar Bononi. Now, this match did not quite go the way Andrade Cien Almas wanted. It was a very quick match. And now, Cesar Bononi is a tall, scrawny looking guy. He looks like he's very in shape. Not like myself, Been held up in the laundry room a little bit too many times, and now trapped in the dungeon. So I've packed on some pounds. But that's going to be over this summer. I'm getting myself back into shape. But Cesar Bononi has nothing to worry about when it comes to that, because the guy is in fantastic shape for his size. I think he could pack on a little bit more weight. He'd look maybe a little bit more impressive. He's young, so he's got time.